Okay, so I'm gonna make a real simple stuffed cabbage recipe. It's easy, anybody can make it, and I'm telling you, this shit is good. So the first thing you gotta do is get a pot of water on to boil for your cabbages. Now I got 3 cabbages over here that I purchased because they were small this time of year, but if you go with 2 larger ones, really all you'll need is 2. Okay, like I said, peel off these nasty outer layers because that shit's gross coming from the store. Get rid of it, and you want to core these before you put them in the water. Once you core it, you core them out, the leaves will start coming off a lot easier. So cut this core off like that, and then get down inside here and take this and core this cabbage, big cabbage out. This is going to allow them leaves to come off a lot easier in the water later on without this core on here. So it takes a little work, but just peel it out of there, then reach down in here and cut as much of this out as you possibly can. Down about halfway into the head. And then just spin your knife around. Get that on out of there, turn it around. And that's probably pretty good right there. That's cored out. Now, I'm gonna go drop this in the water, and then as they soften, I'll just start pulling the leaves out, because it's the best way to do it. So you just drop it in the water and let it start to do its thing, and then I'll come back and I'll show you pulling the leaves out while I prepare the other 2 heads. Alright, these cabbages have been in here maybe 5 minutes or so, and you can start to see what's happening. You know, being that I cored them out in here, they'll start coming off one at a time like this. Get yourself a sheet pan, just throw them on the sheet pan as you're going. You're going to be doing this standing over here for a while. You'll pull some off, you'll have to let it soften up a little bit. You know, they'll keep coming off like this. That's perfect. As you go, you can reach down in here and grab them towards the bottom, and they'll come right off. Now that one's a little small, so I'll probably save that for the bottom of the pan, which you'll see later. You're gonna need some for the bottom, so don't throw anything out. And just keep peeling them off one at a time. As they become, see, they're starting to come off pretty nice now, so it's getting to be pretty good. And do it until you get down to the real white part of the cabbage where leaves get small, and you can tell they're not going to roll anymore. You really don't want them anymore, and that's about it. I'll keep doing this for all 3 heads till I get all my cabbages together, and then we'll run through some ingredients in a minute, and then we'll start making them and put the rest together and be done with the project. Let's run through some ingredients. First thing you're going to need is a pound of hamburger and a pound of pork. Use lean hamburger. Don't buy the cheap shit that's going to grease all up and make nothing but a bunch of grease. Get some good lean ground round or sirloin or something like that, and some pork to keep it moist. So a pound of beef and a pound of pork. Next thing you're going to need is a chopped onion. Now I have a big onion here. You're going to put it in there and kind of eyeball it as you go. You don't want to end up with some kind of onion pie or something. So half of that onion, maybe 3/4 of it. I don't think I'm going to use the whole thing, but we'll find out as we mix it. Worcestershire sauce, about 3/4 of a tablespoon, about 3/4 a cup of long grain white rice. Don't use minute rice. You'll turn it into a gumball and you will not enjoy it at all. Use the long grain, long cooking rice. I've got about a teaspoon of garlic powder there, about a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and 3 teaspoons of salt. So that's the entire ingredients except for the best thing of all, the soup. And you use Campbell's tomato soup. Again, don't buy no cheap shit. Buy Campbell's or you're going to ruin it. Don't get the off-brand, some kind of Publix or Meijer or Walmart bullshit. Stick to Campbell's because it's going to be the flavor for everything. And about 6 to 7 cans of that, depending on how much sauce you want. We like a lot of sauce. I like them completely covered. So on this one, I'm going to run with about 7 cans, and we'll see about how it comes out. Now, you also need a roaster pan like this. A simple roasting pan. This is what we're going to use. If you don't have something like that, I guess you could use some kind of baking dishes or anything. But this type of roaster pan works perfect, and I would suggest that. Okay, so I got all this mixed up. The ingredients are all mixed, do whatever. Now I'm going to give you a little secret here. And as you can see, I only used about half the onion, I guess is what it is, maybe 3/4 of it. When you get done with this mixture, take a 1/2 can of this tomato soup and put it right in your meat mixture, about a 1/2 can. And then I'm going to mix that all up again, and then we're going to stuff these things. So Do this, I guarantee it makes a big difference. All right, so you had some little heads like this left where you didn't take all the leaves off because you like to use the biggest leaves. Pick through the biggest leaves that you can. What's left over, now this is terribly important. Take some of your soup, put it in the bottom, about a can full. Spread it around. Get it spread around. Pop like that. And then what I want you to do is take these leaves you had left over, just pull them flat, do whatever you gotta do, and then lay them on the bottom. This is gonna be your bed for your stuffed cabbages. If you don't do that, they're gonna burn on the bottom and you're gonna be very unhappy. So just take the leaves you got left over and cover this whole bottom. And too, it also adds flavor into the soup mix. When the cabbage kind of, as it cooks, it sweetens up and it actually becomes quite tasty. Okay, so something I like to do is when you get a cabbage roll like this real thick piece right here, just cut a triangle that out of there like that. It'll just make them much more tender, much better. You can leave that in there if you like to, but you're gonna find out that it can be a little bit tough. It only takes a minute to do this. Follow the rules and you'll enjoy it. Now I'm gonna roll one or two here, and then we'll roll the rest. Will be back. So basically, I just take a clump about that big, right around in there, just put it in there, and it all depends on the size of the leaves. You can make small ones, large ones. That's just about right there. It's just about perfect for that one. And simple shit. Just roll the ends in, like so. Roll the ends in, kind of make it an even envelope like that, maybe a little even triangular shaped. And then just roll. And then set it aside. Seam side down in the roaster, or else they'll tend to fall apart on you. Some people use toothpicks, I don't. Some of them will fall apart. It's not that big of a catastrophe. You'll get over it, and they still taste good. So, hunk about that big, golf ball size, maybe a little larger. Put it in there, spread it out a little bit. Same thing. Fold in your ends. Make sure the sides are straight, and just roll. Seam side down. 20 rolls out of that, and they're in there. Now for the magic, and that's just straight tomato soup. And this is just the rest of the cans, as much as you can out of these, and just cover these things up with this. Just keep going, cover them, spread it around the best you can. As the cabbage starts to cook, it'll let out moisture. This is going to turn into a kind of a sweet tomatoey kind of, yeah, it's good. Then the rice will soak up a lot of this too as it cooks. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. But these are good. You don't need anything else but what I did right here. No more seasoning, nothing, just this. This is about, so far, 5 more cans is what this is going to be. I may put just a little bit of water in here when I'm done, just to help it a little bit. And then spread this around and see if you think you're going to need a little bit of water. As we get it spread around here, start deciding what I'm going to do. I'm going to put just a little tiny bit of water in this just to help it out a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. A half a can total. That'll just, yeah, that's good. That's good. You don't have to mix it or anything. It's going to take care of itself as it cooks. Now, another important step here. You don't want the tops of these to burn, and they will burn. So again, you got to put a lid on it, cover them up, and that's where you use the rest of your cabbage leaves that are left over, and just put a cap on it, and just take what you got left and cover up the top. Now, when you open this up when it's done, you're going to see these cabbage leaves are burnt. Just use a pair of tongs, peel them off. It protects underneath here from burning. And again, it also adds some flavor because the cabbage, when it cooks down, gets pretty sweet and it tastes good. So we'll just put the rest here. Can't put too much. Just cover it up. No sense in wasting anything here. And that's it. Now I'm going to cover this just like that. I'm going to put that roaster in a 350-degree oven for 2 hours. No more than 2 hours or you're going to have mush. And we'll see what they look like when they're done. Okay, so this just came out of the oven and this is what it looks like. Like I said before, they're burnt on top. That's the reason you put this out here. So you just go ahead and peel these off of here and you get to the good stuff underneath, which you can see coming in there. They're not burnt, they're in great shape. You can see them under there, and we'll pull one out and cut it up. Okay, so here's one cut open, ready to eat. So this is Lauren. We call her Shorty because she's only about 5 foot tall, but she's my official taste tester and actually my sous chef most of the time. So she's going to taste this and let you know how it is.
Well done, it's perfect.
See, I told you that shit was going to be good. Until next time, see you later.